Hi guys, this is Omega here from Mega Mapping Service Solution. Now today I want to there's a friend of mine who just sent me some data, and this is in form of a shapefile data, and I needed to do a quality control. And as of now, I wanted to show you how we are going to probably do a quality control on this data. The quality control is that we need to check the topological errors, find out if we have any overshoots, undershoots, if we have gaps on this data. So for this to be done, you'll have to load the data from your directory. This is the data for Kenya, which represents all the constituencies. As a matter of fact, we have how the attributes, and from this attribute, we can be able to just estimate the amount of data in fields that we have in the data set. So these are all the fee. We have the county code, the registration, just the usual metadata that we get from shapefiles. Now, I wanted to show you the basic of doing topology. I mean, fixing if first before you do any analysis on this data, you need to check if we have any errors. And from this data, you can see we have gaps here, we have intersections. So the reason for me to for me to the reason for shooting this video is to help you out there in terms of getting to just do a quality control for analysis and visualization. So being a vector data, what we need to do is we need to go to vector, and here you'll find QGIS has a plugin called Topology Checker, and it also has geometry checkers for shapefiles and tools for geometry too. We have the analysis tool, and because here we are looking at the quality control by doing a topology, and we need to go to topology checker here, and once you click on it, this is the panel that pops out, and this panel definitely has to you have to validate this data first, and uh, before you even do this, you have to configure and give out the rules that you want, because now you need rules to be applied on this data set. So we need the constituency must not have gaps. We add this rule here, and still the same data, it must not overlap, and we add the rule, and the constituency must not have let me see, have gaps, must not overlap, must not have duplicates. I think there's a good rule too. So we add it here and say okay. Once you have all the rules, you can now click on this validation, uh, uh, the validation icon, and you can see all these errors on our window. I wanted to minimize this. So let me drop this. So once I push this here, uh, let me dock it somewhere different. I need to dock this somewhere here. So you can see all these are the errors we have. There's a bunch of errors that we have on this data set. So we cannot perform any analysis when we have all these errors. For instance, take a look here. We have 10,370 errors. This includes gaps. Uh, that's one of the gap. That's the other gap. That's the other. Now, because we have errors in this data, we need now to export this data and fix all these errors. All right. So I'm going to try to export the data. Save feature as. I will drop this in my desktop. Um, oh, where's the desktop? Okay, okay, desktop. Let me just create a new folder and say fixed geometry. Fixed geometry. And inside here, I need to write constituency. Let me just write constituency version 1 v1. Save this and I'm clicking OK. So I have this data exported. Now, once I have the data exported, there's a tool because we cannot start fixing these errors one by one. We need to upload this data in a browser. There's a tool called Mapshaper, and this is just found on Google. Once you go to your browser, you could just leave with the browser. Let me just go to my browser here. Sorry about that. So once I'm on the browser, I'll be able to type Mapshaper. Mapshaper. Now, Mapshaper is a tool that helps you fix all the geometries of a data, and because we cannot start cleaning the data one by one, we need to actually upload the data that we have, which has errors, and use Mapshaper to fix all these gaps, overshoots, duplicates, and and that is why I have to give you these insights so that you get to have a clue on and to just automate your tasks. So I will get my data here, open this, submit, and this is the data that we have. So you can see when we check line intersections, we have 13,614 line intersections. All these. So we will click on console, and here we could type help and see what we have. These are all the commands that we have. Now for cleaning, we have to use a command called clean. This is the command that we have to use. All right. So if I key in on my console, clean, and press enter, you could see we have removed 9,982 errors that we had, and we have retained 203 out of 295 features. So we need to now export this data because you find now we have fixed most of the errors that we had. We have no gaps. We have no intersections like we saw previously on our previous data. So this data is good for visualization and it's good for it's good now for analysis. So we need to export this data. I'm gonna use the same format. I will give it a name called fixed geometry. Let me give it version 2. Version 2. I'm gonna export this. So my data has been downloaded. I should locate it in the folder. I'm gonna just and drop it in my desktop container. So I'm gonna go to PC, um, desktop, fixed geometry, and then I will paste this here and extract all. I'm gonna it's desktop, fixed geometry, extract here. So I have my fixed geometry data constituency version 2. So here I'm going to load this data back to QGIS by sorry. I had a lot of softwares running. So I will go back to my QGIS and I would add the layer here, add the vector layer, clean this out, browse, fixed geometry, version 2, open, and I'm gonna add this close. So this was our previous data, and we need to this is now our fixed geometry. I added 2 layers, so I'll remove one of these. And here, what do we have? We have these constituencies. I'm gonna go back to topology, check out all the errors. No errors are found, so I'm not gonna show these errors. So we will QGIS comes with the processing tool, so I'll look for the processing toolbox panel here. Then I will dock this on the side. I guess I'll dock this here. And then there's a toolbox called check validity. Uh, so if we check validity, we want to check validity of the fixed geometries and find out if we have any topological errors. This is how you do the quality control. So I will use the geometry and fixed geometry, valid output, invalid, and check if we have any errors on this. So if I run the validity of the data that I have brought in, you could see here we have a valid count of 293, and uh, we have error of we have 0 error. All right, remember the last time we had 10,000 um, errors because we had gaps, overshoots. So with this data, literally, we don't have gaps. You can check this out. We previously we saw we have a lot of gaps. If we look at our previous data here, this is a gap. But what we have right now, this has been rectified. So in it's courtesy of us using the browser toolbox called the Mapshaper, which is definitely found. It runs in the browser. We have a lot of commands here. If you want to join data, you can use union, and all these commands are found in the console. And once you just key in help, you can be able to get all the commands that you want. You could clip, use a polygon layer to clip another layer. So all these commands are available here. Now, because our data is now clean, I wanted to show you that it's very easy to uh, just automate these tasks rather than clicking and trying to adjust the lines of each constituency. We could automate this process by cleaning and fixing the geometry errors that we have in our data using the Mapshaper plugin, and which is just a browser tool. It runs on your browser, and there's no way you need to have internet or something. you can run it without internet as long as you import your data in the right format to Mapshaper. So that being said, I will, in case of any questions, you're free to DM me. You're free to give me a shout out. And without, I'm gonna end this video so that I could do another video on how we on visualization of the correct data, because it's good to just learn one of few tips rather than spending a whole 4 hours trying to uh, fix geometries. We could just use the map shaper to do what's it called, um, to do geometry checks. All right, guys. That being said, I'm going to end the video. Um, and next, I will be showing you on visualization techniques. Bye for now, and have a prosperous new year 2025. Good. Thank you.